If you want to see any other books that I've read or any content from me in general, go follow my Instagram and my TikTok. I'm going to put the ads right here, or you can check the link in the description. Also, I'm going to start blogging very soon, coming out with more and more content, more and more equipment. I'm planning on taking this very seriously and planning on building something real. I'm not here to sell you some fake course or build you a 90-day program. I'm here to build a journey. I'm 18, I'm not rich, and I'm not where I want to be at in life. None of these books made me money overnight. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there's some 90-day program or there's any shortcuts to getting to where you want to be at in life. The truth is, the journey is not easy. And if you're already thinking that it's going to be easy, or you're looking for some 90-day program or the laziest way, it's not going to work, bro. And this journey isn't for you. So you can go ahead and click off this video. Or if you're someone who wants to build something real, who understands that although you might not be able to get rich fast and that you may never actually be at the top, you can always keep growing. And that's the point of reading, is understanding that you can keep growing, keep learning. And yeah, so if you're looking for something real, here are 8 books that actually changed my life. Before I get into explaining any of the books, I want to explain that I have these books put in a specific order. They're not how I read them. It's not in the order of how I read them, but I put it in an order for what's best to read in. But number one, obviously, is to master your mind, and that's the point of reading. So, book number 1, Don't Believe Everything You Think. It really just told me that just because you think something doesn't mean it's always true, and that there's a difference between a thought and thinking. For example, you could say, oh, I really want to do something, but then you'll think like, oh, what will people think? What will happen if I fail? Whatever, you overthink. And sometimes you gotta know the difference between thinking and a thought. Book number 2 and 3, Psychology of Money and the Art of Spending Money. I read this one first and then this one second, and they go hand in hand. The Psychology of Money, very good book, and they're by the same author, but the Psychology of Money made me realize that money isn't always about being smart and making the smartest option. Sometimes it's on behavior, patience, consistency, and yeah, it also teaches you lessons about wealth, greed, happiness, and it teaches you history about money. Second book, The Art of Spending Money, is a really good book, and it opened my mind a lot. Teaches you obviously how to spend your money wiser, but not only wiser, it teaches you how to start spending money on stuff that improve your life, and to stop wasting money on things that didn't actually improve your life. And then, I know it sounds easy, but when it comes down to it, it's really not. For example, he goes into things like social debt, and just other stuff in general, like stuff that no one else is teaching you, and just so intelligent. If you want to control your money, if you want to build success, these 2 books 100% for you. And I know they were for me, and they changed my life. The next book, we got book number 4, The Richest Man in Babylon. This book is about an ancient civilization called Babylon, and it's about, like, it goes into the people there, you know, but what it really goes into is the richest man there, and it teaches you basic money principles that have been around forever and still apply today. And when I tell you that this book really, like, when I seen it for the first time, I knew it was going to be something crazy. But the more I read it, the more I started to understand. And it teaches you, one, to pay yourself first, no matter how much you make. And what that means is saving or investing. So they have this thing called the 1/10 rule. And I'm not going to go into it in today's video, but let me know in the comments if you want me to go into any other concepts or whatever, whether it's social debt, 1/10 rule, or something I talk about in the future of this video. But man, if you don't know about these principles, about these laws, when it comes to life, money, wisdom, whatever, then you're really falling behind. Oh yeah, next book number 5, Money Skills for Teens Made Easy. Now this book, it teaches you everything they don't teach you in school and more. It teaches you anything any financial literacy class will teach you. And I know that from personal experience. And this book teaches you the basics of budgeting, saving, credit, debt, investing, whatever. If you're young, even, like, dude, I know people older than me I can recommend this book to. So, and I actually got it gifted to me. So, doesn't matter what age you are to read any of these books. But I read this when I was 16. I'm 18 years old now, and I'm happy I read it as early as I did. If you haven't read it yet, 100% get this book. Invest. Book number 6, we got The 48 Laws of Power. I read it and I gave it away, but what I will say is that book is obviously very powerful. It's a book about power, but it's not for simple-minded people, 1, and 2, it's not meant to be used in a bad way. I'm not saying that you can't use it in a bad way. Definitely shouldn't, unless you're me, but you should 100% use it to be more aware of people taking advantage of you or trying to gain power over you, manipulation tactics, you name it. And it helps teach you about power, how to gain power, and how to be aware of people trying to gain power over you. Also understand that you shouldn't be worried about getting power over small things. And if you are, then that just means that the other person has power. And I'm sure you guys heard about the 48 Laws of Power before. So, but 100% would recommend. Book number 7, we got 25 Biblical Laws of Success. And you don't even have to be religious. You could just cross this word out, bro. It obviously goes off of the Bible, but these are principles and laws that anyone could take advantage of. And if you're not, then you're falling behind. But this book 100% changed my life, and I still have to sometimes go back to it just to remind myself, like, simple laws and, you know, why they work. So yeah, I would definitely invest in this book if you're a man or woman of principle and laws and foundation. The next book I would recommend, and our last book for today that changed my life, the most important book in the world, This book gave me foundation. This book gave me peace. And it didn't give me any financial advice. It gave me peace. It gave me something real. It gave me love. And it gave me principles and a foundation. And someone to look up to, and that's Jesus Christ.